Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. Welcome to Mathematics with Shahab Yaqub. In today's video, we are solving a paper 1, and this is a practice paper from CAIE, and this is for the new exam, that is 2025, and this is paper 1. So now let's get started with this. It's for 2 hours and the marks are 100. So now both papers are each worth 100 marks. The formula sheet that we saw in yesterday's class for a specimen 2 paper, that formula sheet is also given over here. So SP stands for specimen paper and PQ practice paper, something like that. So now let's note down the timing. This is 7:18 and we are starting at 7:18 p.m. So I think we'll be able to finish the paper in around 60 plus 20, which is 80 minutes. So let's see. So now the first thing, it says calculators must not be used in this paper. Question number 1, write down the order of rotational symmetry of the diagram. This thing over here, this thing over here, exactly the same kind of thing. This is like a fan with 2 blades. So therefore, this example always works, and the rotational symmetry is order of order 2. So it's a rotational symmetry of order 2. That's how this thing is done. Now it says this person, Dora, records the temperature at 6 a.m. every day for 7 days. The temperatures are in degrees Celsius. Write these temperature in order of size starting with the lowest. So the most negative one is the lowest. That is -4. Actually, -5 is also there. So -5, that is the lowest, then -4, then -2, then -1. And then there is a 0, and then there is a 1, and then there is a 2. So the ones that are negative, these are the coldest. -5 is the coldest. And the one that are over here, positive ones, these are what? These are the hottest. And then there is one thing in the middle, that is 0, and the 0 is the one in the middle. Now it says work out the difference between the highest and the lowest temperature. So that is the lowest, that is the highest. This is also known as the range. So 2 minus -5, that comes out to be 7. Let me write a 7 over here. Find the median temperature. The one in the middle, that's the median temperature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the one in the middle, that's the mid value. So therefore, -1 is the median. Now, these questions are kind of tricky. You have to do it by trial and error. Put one pair of bracket. So you have to put one pair of bracket only in each statement to make it correct. 16, 8, 4, 2, 16, 8, 4, 2, division plus multiplication, division plus multiplication, the same thing, equals to 1, equals to 12. Now that shows the importance of the order and brackets. Now over here, if I need a 1 over here, 8 plus 4 is 12. But over here, there is multiplication. So 4 into 2 would work first, even if there is no bracket. So 4 into 2 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. This 16 divided by 16 will give me 1. So therefore, the bracket goes over here. Double check. Now, another pair of bracket. Where would you put another pair of bracket? This time, we want a 12. So if I look over here, 16 divided by 8 is 2. 2 plus 4 is 8. 8 into 2 is 2 plus, my bad, 16 divided by 8 is 2. 2 plus 4 into 2. That is 4 into 2 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 12. So therefore, the bracket goes over here, and always a good idea to double check. So the easiest ones are the ones in which you lose the maximum marks because you take it for granted. Now over here, AB is equals to BC. So let me highlight this. So we have AB is equals to BC. That means it's an isosceles triangle. Therefore, this angle, if it's x degrees over here, therefore this angle is also x degrees. And ABD is a straight line. Find the value of x. So method 1, this is 130 degrees. So therefore, method 1 is all the angles add up to 180. So x plus 130 equals to 180. Therefore, 2x is equals to 50. Therefore, x is 25 degrees. That's the first thing. Method 2, that is a property which most people forget, that the exterior angle of a triangle is equals to sum of interior opposite angles. Now, this is the exterior angle of a triangle. That is this one. Let me do the correction over here. So now this blue one, that is the exterior angle. And these two are the interior angle, this x and this x. So therefore, x plus x equals to the blue one. So this is like this, x plus x is equals to this. So what is over here? 50. This is x plus x. Therefore, x still comes out to be 25 and put a degree sign. So that is also the easy one. Let me just check one thing, that is the recording is on and the voice is all good, all clear. Let me also put my phone at the front. So if there is any issue, people let me know on this thing. Okay, so now this one, find an expression for the perimeter of this triangle. Very simple. Perimeter is the length of all the sides, 3a plus b. Just use brackets. And then a plus 2b. And then 4a minus 5b. So now red marker. This is a, this is a, this is a. And then this is b, and this is b. So let's add it all up. 3a plus a, 4a plus 4a, 8a. And over here, b plus 2b is 3b. 3b minus 5b is negative 2b. Leave the answer as it is. 8a minus 2b. Question number 6. Calculate the area of the trapezium. Now, for the area of the trapezium, this is a parallel side. No labeling is done in terms of alphabets. That's another parallel side. And this one is the height. So let me write over here, A is 7, B is 11. These two are parallel sides and height is 6. So area, half sum of parallel sides, A plus B into H. That is half 7 plus 11 into H. H is 6. 7 plus 11 is 18. And this is 6. So 2 ones are, 2 nines are, 9 6 are 54. So therefore, the answer is 54 centimeters square. Write 1 over 20 as a percentage, 1 over 20 into 100. So 21s are, 25s are, that comes out to be 5%. That is 5%. Write 0.2 as a fraction. What is this thing? This is recurring decimals. That is the new concept that is in the syllabus. I think I have the thing over here. This is the PDF of this particular video that I've made. So if someone is unfamiliar with this concept, do go ahead and watch this thing. These are the different kinds of recurring decimals. And how do you work it out? How do you do the conversion? So that is a simple thing. And more extreme examples are also given over here, because you never know what kind of question the examiner will ask. So let me, where am I? Over here. So now over here, when we write 0.2 as a fraction and this decimal is at the top of 0.2, that means it is 0.222 like this. It keeps on going. So what we do is that we say let x is equals to 0.2222 like this. And since it's only one digit that is repeating, so we just multiply it with 10. It's a game of multiples of 10. For the detail, do watch that video. That is 2.2222 and so on. So now when I subtract 10x minus x, so this thing and this thing, when subtracted after the decimal, it's exactly the same. So I'm simply left with a 2 over here. Got the idea? So therefore, 9x is equals to 2 and x is 2 over 9. That is how you write this thing as a fraction. So there are many more other examples over there. Do have a look. Now this thing over here, question number 8, that's transformation. How many triangles do we see? That is the one that is being transformed to B, transformed to C, transformed to D, and so on. A onto B, A onto C, A onto D. Let me first focus on this. Now, A onto B. First focus on the pointers. So let me look at the nose. The most pointed one, that's the nose. This is 5, 1. And this nose is minus 1, 5. The coordinates are simply flipping. So 5, 1 becoming minus 1, 5. First of all, it's a rotation because the height becomes the base becomes the height. The base becomes the height, and the height becomes the base. And it's 90-degree anti-clockwise. And it's 90 degrees anti-clockwise about origin. If it's about origin, nothing changes. And for sometimes they used to ask the difficult part. That is what if the center of rotation is not the origin. So again, I would refer to those videos and just have a look over there. What I feel nowadays is that they won't be asking this kind of difficult question because the level of math has gone down very much. So that is the thing. And if you want to write it further, when we have this thing, rotation 90-degree anti-clockwise, the coordinates flip, and the new x coordinate changes sign. That is exactly what is happening over here. Now, what is the next one? That is triangle A onto triangle C. So this is triangle A into triangle C. This looks like a translation because it is like shifting this way and this way. So just do the counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is in this line. And 6 units left, and then 1, 2, 3 unit down. So I can write it directly. It's a translation. It is 6 left, 3 down. Therefore, the translation vector is -6, -3. That's one approach. Now, some people, what they do is that, let me label this point as Q. Let me label this point as R. So let me write the position vector of Q, OQ, that is 5, 1. And OR, this is what? -1, -2. That means to the original point OQ plus translation vector is OR. Therefore, translation vector is OR minus OQ. So OR is -1, -2, -5, 1. What do I get? -1, -5. That comes out to be -6, -2, -1. It's -3. That is exactly the same thing over here. So if you want to do the calculation, you can. Otherwise, direct is perfect. Now this thing. What about this? That is this thing. That's the red one, the green one, now the blue one. And now this is the point over here, QR. Let me write S. What is happening to the point? So 5, 1 is now becoming 3 minus 5. S is 3 and -5. Yes, it looks like an enlargement. Definitely, it's not a reflection. It's an enlargement. So now, first of all, the base is 3 units. 3 and 3 and 3. So the base has tripled in size. So original base 3 units. Now the base is 9 units. Therefore, the scale factor is 3. All good? So now what about center of enlargement? So first of all, we have to write it's an enlargement with SF scale factor 3 and center of enlargement. How do I find that? We join corresponding points. So let me join S and Q like this and just extend this line like this. Let me join these 2 points like this. Let's extend this line. Let me also join these 2 points, the corresponding points like this. Let's extend the line. So just ignore the thickness of the line, which of course it's not in my hand. So it's going like this and it's very correct. I think this is the point 6, 4. So where the lines converge, that is the center of enlargement and that is the answer. On a grid, draw the image of triangle A after reflection in the line y is equals to -1. So now let me draw the line. Y is equals to -1. That is a line that's going like this. And I want to reflect this. So if I want to reflect this, this point over here, this is like 2 units above the line. So 2 units below the line. Again, this is 2 units below the line. And this is 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then this goes like this. Now let me grab this thing. And this thing over here, this thing over here, very easy to draw reflection. So that is the reflection of A in the line y is equals to -1. Let's call it A prime. On a grid, draw the image. So do write over here that this is part B. So now this thing is done. A very simple question of transformation. Now let's talk about this thing. Roboter buys a toy for $5. He sells the toy for $4.60. Calculate his percentage loss. Now let me pause the recording for a second. So now over here, it says the cost price is this thing, $5. Cost price is $5. And the selling price is $4.60. The loss is 40 cents or $0.4. Percentage loss, this is loss divided by the original into 100. So 0.40 divided by 5.00 into 100. That is 40 divided by 500 into 100. Cancel off the zeros, and 40 over 5, this comes out to be 8%. Now let me just check one thing, whether the recording is all on. Yes, the recording is on as well as the voice is on. That's the main thing. Now the next one, question number 10. Work out this fraction. Now, first of all, 4 into 1 plus 3, that is 7 over 4 minus 11 over 12. I prefer to write 7 over 4 as equivalent fraction. If I multiply by 2, this will become 8, and 7 2s are 14. I can even write 7 over 4 multiplied by 3, so that becomes 12. 7 into 3 is 21. So this is 21 over 12, and then subtract 11 over 12. 21 minus 11, that is 10. 10 over 12, and it can be written in the simplest form, that is 5 over 6. So this is 5 over 6. So that is the answer. Now 10 questions are done. I think it's a good idea to check my answers and show it to you also. So let me highlight this thing. Let's start from the basic. This is 736. So we started at 718, and then it's 736. And there are 10 questions that we have done. And then we are checking for answers because we are not giving an exam as such. So we have the liberty to do so. So 2 and this thing, and then 8, and then -1. 2, this thing, 8, and -1. Okay, hold for a second. There is one simple mistake that I made. I think I forgot the 3. Hold for a second. That is -5, -4, and then -2. There is no -1. My bad, my bad, my bad. Okay, let me correct myself. So therefore, this will all change. So one simple mistake, -5, let me do the telemark. -5 is done, -4 is done, -1 and -2. -2 is there, a -1 is also there. That's good. And now which ones are left? We are left with 1, we are left with 0, we are left with 3. So this is 0, and this is 1, and this is 3. All good? So the difference between the highest and the lowest, 3 minus -5, that comes out to be 8. Find the median temperature. This one is in the middle. That is -1. I think it was already the same as before. So now this is 16 divided by, and 16 divided by. The bracket is over here. The bracket is over here. I think that's pretty good. This is 25, 8a minus 2b. This is 25. This is 8a minus 2b. That is good. This is 54, 5, 2 over 9. This is 54, 5, 2 over 9. Then its rotation 90-degree anti-clockwise. This translation is good. This is also good. Scale factor is good. This we have drawn. This is 8%. Which one is the 8%? That is the 8%. The percentage is already written, and this is 5/6. So I made one small mistake, and I feel bad about it. That is the one in which I miscopied the things. Now, here is a good question. Write 216 as a product of its prime factors. So first of all, 216, that is 6 into 6 into 6. Now, some of the cubes and cube roots, squares and square roots, you should remember. So 6 is 2 into 3. This 6 is also 2 into 3. This 6 is also 2 into 3. So therefore, this is 2 cube into 3 cube. This is 2 cube into 3 cube. Now, this question, I think this one was the most tricky question in this paper, and it's worth 2 marks. So even if you find it difficult, you can skip it. No issue with that. You can always come back to it later. Now, the thing over here is, how do you deal with this? By this time, you should have read this question. What exactly are they talking about? They are talking about there are 2 positive integers and each are greater than 25. The LCM of the 2 integers is 216. So 216 is 2 cube into 3 cube. And the highest common factor of the 2 integers is 18. So 18 is 2 into 9, that is 2 into 3 square. So again, it's about prime factorization. Find the 2 integers. That means the integers that I'll have, they have to be in terms of 2 and 3. The factors should be 2 and 3. So let me think about it. If it says greater than 25, if I take 26, that's 13 involvement, skip that. 27, that's only 3 cube. I need 28, that is 4 into 7, that's 2 square into 7, not worth it. 29, not worth it. 30. So 30, if I write, so first of all, let me write 30, that is 2 into 3 into 5. Now, if we are talking about LCM or HCF, that 5 should have appeared somewhere, but 5 is not appearing. Therefore, this is not applicable. We don't know the numbers as yet. Move to the next one. That is 36. So if I write 36 over here, that is 2 square into 3 square, 4 into 9 is 36. This is under consideration. We will soon see. Let's increase by 6. So therefore, 42. Because when we are talking about 2s and 3s, so the product is 6. So let's increase it by 6, 6, 6, and so on. So 42, that is 2 into 3 into 7. Again, it's not applicable based upon the same reason. If 5 was there, 7 was there, it should have appeared over here, but it's not appearing. So now let me move to 48. So let me write 48 over here. That is 2 into 3 into 2 cube. 6 8s are 48. So basically, this is 12 into 4. So this is 2 power 4 into 3. That is 48. And then the next one is 54. That is 27 into 2, which is 2 into 3 cube. And then let me write over here 60. Let me write some more because this is by trial and error. That is 6 into 10. That's 2 square into 3 into 5. And then let me write 66. That is 6 into 11, 2 into 3 into 11. And let me write 72 over here. That is 2 cube and 8 9s are. So 2 cube into 3 square. Now, first of all, which other ones are not applicable? So 60 is not applicable. Why? Because of this 5. 66 is not applicable because of this 11. Now, let me focus my attention to these ones that are over here. First of all, my attention is on 36. Let me put some color inside. So my focus is on 36. My focus is on 48. My focus is on 54. And my focus is on 72. And let me think about it. Now, if I look at these numbers, I need a HCF of 18. So highest common factor. So we have 2 square, we have 2 power 4, we have 2 cube. If I take these two, yes, 2 can be taken out. But 3 and 3 cube, only 3 will be taken out. I need a 3 square. If I consider these two, then it would be 2 square and 3. Again, that's not what I need. I need 2 and 3 square. If I consider these two, 2 and 2 cube, that is what? 2. And 3 cube and 3 square, I have this thing. So I think I'm narrowing down my search to these two. That is, I'm narrowing down to 54. I'm narrowing down to 72. Of course, there are many other numbers also, but we are starting with these numbers, the ones that is the first one that is appearing now. So therefore, 54 is 2 into 3 cube. 72 is 2 cube into 3 square, and maybe the later on numbers, they would be multiples of this. Maybe one of the thing would be possible, the other one will be not. So as far as HCF is concerned, that fulfills the criteria. So 2 and 2 cube, that is 2, 3 square and 3, that is 3 square, that is all good. Now check LCM. When I check LCM, what's the LCM? So lowest common multiple, 2 cube and 2, that is 2 cube. 3 cube and 3 square, that is 3 cube. So this is 2 cube into 3 cube. That is also good. Therefore, the two integers are what? That is 54 and 72. So this is really out of the box thinking. Now, people realize one thing very practically, very pragmatically. It's not necessary that you do every single question right to get your A star. I'm talking about A star. Such a question, which is not humanly possible for maybe only 5%, 1% would be able to solve it in that time. The other 99 or 98% won't be able to solve it. So don't waste time on it. When you come across such a question, don't waste time. First, complete the paper, the rest of paper, and then come back to it later. If you can do it, fine. If you cannot, still no worries. So I'm saying this with so much confidence. Now let's look at question number 12. It says ABCD lie on a circle, center O, TA is a tangent to the circle. So now let me draw some colored lines. So TA is a tangent to the circle that goes like this. At A, angle ABC is 131. It is 131, that is ABC, that is 131. So now this one, this is 131 over here. And then it says ADB is 20, ADB is 20. So let me draw these lines like this. And let me draw it like this. Now, what else is there? Then it says find angle ADC. So we have A, where is D? ADC. Now, ADC, you have to find this whole thing. That we will think about it. AOC. AOC is the easy one. Angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference if produced by the same chord. Yes, it is produced by the same chord, which is this green chord right over here. Because the name of this angle is A, hold for a second, ADB, and this is AO, my bad. That is dependent upon this one. Let me clear my wording. Hold for a second. I think it's very difficult to scroll up and down. So now over here, first of all, let me just mark everything again. That is the tangent line. This line is like this. That is this thing. And then this thing like this. So now this angle is 20 degrees. 131 is there. We have to find BAT, we have to find OAB. So now, first of all, OAB, let me mark all the angles. So now hold for a second. ADC, that's this one, ADC. Then we have AOC, that is this one. Then we have this thing BAT, where is BAT? So that is this angle on the outside. So this is BAT. This is the new thing in the syllabus. This is called alternate segment theorem. What it says is that this is the easiest one, because the angle that this chord makes with the tangent should be the same as this chord makes in the alternate segment, which is 20 degrees. So this one is the easiest. BAT is 20 degrees. And also write the reasoning, alternate segment theorem. Now, what's the other one? OAB. O, A, and B. So now O, A, and B like this. Now, the first thing first, let me double this angle, 131. What's double of that? That is 262. That is this reflex angle, that is 262. And this angle over here, this one, that should be 360 minus 262. So this angle over here, that is 360 minus 262. That is 100 minus 2, which is 98 degrees. So therefore, this one is 98 degrees, which is AOC. AOC is 98 degrees. Got the idea? This is in the minus segment. This chord is making this angle in the minus segment. So the angle at the center, the reflex will be double of that. Double of that is this thing. And this is 360 minus this angle. All good, all clear? So therefore, this thing is this one over here. Now, what else can we do? How can I use this 20 degrees? So now there is a 90-degree angle also over here. So let me mark this thing, this whole thing as 90 degrees. Because radius is perpendicular to tangent. So now this small angle is 20 degrees. And what I can do is that if this is 98 degrees, which other angles am I looking for? I'm looking for ADC. Now, in order to understand ADC, is there any diameter? So therefore, hold for a second. This is A, and this is D, and this is C. So now ADC, is there any angle produced by AC at the circumference? No. That is this thing, this angle over here, this 98, this should be 49. So this should be 49. I'll just double check the whole thing. And then what else is there? Are there any other parallel lines or something like that? So therefore, ADC is 49. Because angle at the circumference should be half of that. And OAB, O, A, and B over here. So therefore, if I have this thing, so OAB, no, I don't need this, my bad. I need this much up till here, OAB. So this should be 90 minus 20, which is 70 degrees. So that is a 70 degree over here. 49, 98, 20, and 70. 12. 49, 98, 20, and 70. Yes, it was a tricky question because the diagram was made a bit twisted. So this again takes some time. Now, write 1.48 10 to the power 5 as an ordinary number, 1.48, and then let me write a lot of zeros over here. And then let me shift it 5 times, 5 places, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just stop, discard the rest. So this is 148,000. Calculate 3 times 10 to the power negative 3 raised to power of 3, that is 3 raised to power of 3 into 10 raised to power of negative 3 raised to power of 3. That is 3 raised to power of 3 is 27 into 10 raised to power of negative 9. Now, can I write 27 as 2.7 into 10 power 1 into 10 power negative 9? Yes, I can. Because for standard form, I need it to be written in this form, and A has to be lesser than 10, and it could be 1. So that is why this needs conversion. So this is 2.7 into 10 to the power negative 8. This thing is also done. Vectors, very basic, simple vector. This particular one, 2p plus q. 2 times 4, 6 plus q, which is negative 2, 7. So that is 8 and 12. And this is minus 2 and 7. This comes out to be 6. 12 plus 7 is 19. So this is 6 and 19. Find the exact value of P magnitude. Magnitude of P, that is 4 square, 6 square, under root, that is 16, that is 36, under root. 16 plus 36 is what? 52 under root. This I can write this thing as 4 times 30. I can separate out the square root. That's root 4, root 13. That is 2 root 13. This is 2 root 13. So 2 root 13, 619, and this thing, let me double check. This thing done, this thing done, this thing done, this thing done. All good, all clear. Let's move ahead. Similarity. Triangle A is mathematically similar to triangle PQR. Why have they written it? Because it's not drawn to scale. So someone should not take out the ruler and start measuring and suing the examiner that this is not correct, because that's why it says not drawn to scale. It's mathematically similar. The area of the triangle is 15. The area of ABC is 15, the small one. So this is AB is to PQ. These are the corresponding sides. Is 6 is to 12, which is 1 is to 2. And also focus on the this thing, the angles. This is a single line. This is a single line. This is a double line. Therefore, this is a double line. Therefore, this is the angle. This is the angle. So basically, that's how you choose the sides. So 6 is to 12 is 1 is to 2, not 12. And ratio of areas, area of small to area of big, that is length of small to length of big whole square. Area of small is 15. Area of big is that we are looking for. ABC is small and PQR is big. And this is 1 is to 2 whole square. So 15 over area of big is 1 is to 4, cross multiply. Therefore, area of big comes out to be 60 centimeters square. The triangles are the cross sections of prism, which are also mathematically similar. Volume of small, volume of large. That is length of small, length of large, the whole thing cube. Whether you call it large or you call it big doesn't make a difference. So let me write B over here. Let me write B over here. The volume of the smaller prism is 300. Calculate the length of the larger prism. So now we have the volume of smaller prism. Now that is 300 centimeter cube. Calculate the length of the larger prism. Now we have this thing, that is the ratio of areas. And we are also looking at this cross section of prism, which are also mathematically similar. The volume of the smaller prism is this thing. Calculate the length of the larger prism. So they're not asking about this thing. We have to do some extra calculation. So volume of small is 300. Volume of big is unknown. Length of small is 1. Length of big is 2. 1 is to 2 cube. So 300 over VB, that is 1 over 8. Therefore, VB is 8 times 300, 2400 centimeter cube. Now, volume of prism is cross-sectional area into length. So they're looking for this length. Volume of prism is 2400. Cross-sectional area of the large prism is 60 into length of the large prism. So 2400 divided by 60 is length of large prism. 0, 0 cancel out. 240 over 6. That comes out to be 40. So therefore, this is 40. Let's double check. This is 60. This is 40. This is 60. This is 40. Now let's move on. Functions. Fx is 3x plus 2. Gx is this. Hx is this. Find h of 3. So h of 3, just plug in the value. That is 4 raised to power of 3, which comes out to be 64. The domain of fx is this thing. Find the range of f. So now we should have a little bit idea about the quadratics. And we should know that this quadratic goes like this. X squared plus 1, that goes like this. Let me just shift it a little bit over here. Now, this is, when x is 0, this is 1. We are starting from -4 to +4. This is -4. This is +4. Actually, we need the graph for sure. And let me just have this eraser like this. So now at -4, we are getting this thing as 17. So let me just shift this thing up like this. So therefore, this y value is 17. Okay. So f of -4 is also 17. F of 4 is also 17. But the smallest value on the graph is 1. So therefore, the range of fx lies between the least value and the greatest value. That comes out to be between 1 and 4. Find f of g of 1. So first evaluate g of 1. What is g of 1? Gx is x squared plus 1. So this is 1 squared plus 1. One thing. Hold for a second. I think by mistake, I drew for gx. So this thing over here, I did this question for gx. So maybe this is my question that I've created by mistake. So this is by mistake, but this is a good question because sometimes if it comes like this, maybe you can answer it like this, but that's not the original question. So let me add a page over here, or let me just remove this rather than adding a page. And that was fx. So maybe I mixed up with this A-level stuff. So now over here, fx is 3x plus 2. That is easy. Fx is 3x plus 2. F of -4, 3 into -4 plus 2, -12 plus 2 is -10. And f of 4, that is 3 into 4 plus 2, 12 plus 2 is 14. So therefore, the range is this thing, a straight line. It has no turning points. That is -10 and 14. So that's easy thing. Let me again draw this, something like this. And we draw a line like this. So -4 is giving -10 and like this. So let's say over here, -4 is giving us -10 and +4 is giving us this thing like this. That is 14 and that's the highest value. That's the lowest value. That's the range. Find f of g of 1. So now g of 1 is x squared plus 1, 1 squared plus 1, which comes out to be 2. F of g of 1, f of g of 1 means f of 2. And what is fx? 3x plus 2. 3 into 2 plus 2, that is 6 plus 2 is 8. So this is 8. Find g fx in the quadratic form. G of fx. That means inside g, you would put in fx. I think this is x squared plus 1. So this is fx whole square plus 1. That is 3x plus 2 whole square plus 1, since we want it in this form. So therefore, expand 9x squared plus 6 plus 6, that is 12x plus 4 plus 1, which is 9x squared plus 12x plus 5, that is 9x squared plus 12x plus 5. Find f inverse of x. Let y is equals to fx. Therefore, f inverse y is equals to x. y is equals to 3x plus 2, y minus 2 divided by 3 is equals to x. X is what? F inverse y. So over here, x is f inverse y. F inverse y. We have a habit of writing everything in terms of x. That is x minus 2 over 3. So this is what? This is question number 16. We have 64 between 10 and 14. We have 8. We have this thing. We have this thing. So this is all got all clear, except for that small thing, because this thing, it comes in AS level math. So I went into another zone of AS level math. Question 17, just read it so that I can just drink some water. Now the question says that we have this grid. The region R is defined by these inequalities. Sometimes they give you a drawn figure. Sometimes they ask you to draw it. So now x is greater than or equal to 2. So draw the line x is equals to 2. Let's start with a red line. That is the line x is equals to 2. So now I'm making it more obvious by drawing a thick line. In your exam, it should be dark but thin. So remember this thing, pencil, dark plus thin. So now this thing is drawn, x is equals to 2, y is equals to x. A blue line, y is equals to x when x is 0, y is 0, when x is 1, y is 1, when x is 2, y is 2, and so on like this. Just make it pass through this. So that is the blue line. This one is the red line. And now the green line, which is 2x plus y is equals to 8. So now 2x plus y is equals to 8. The easiest way to draw it is choose x is equals to 0, y is equals to 8. Choose y is equals to 0, 2x is 8, x is 4. That is the easiest way. So 0, 8, that's 1 point. 0, 8, that's 1 point. And 4, 0, that's the other point. And let's join it by a green line like this. Okay, fair enough. By drawing suitable lines and shading unwanted regions, find region R. So right away, without any thinking, I can write this as region R. Because this is shading unwanted region. I don't want this, and I'll just let you know how I got to this conclusion. I don't want this blue region. And similarly, I don't want this green region. So now the region that I have, let me mark it a little bit darker with this thing. That is this, and this. That is this region over here. Now, first of all, how did I mark? Of course, normally, not of course, it's a closed region. X is greater than or equal to 2. So we want the region to the right. This is wanted region. So shaded is unwanted. Y is greater than or equal to x. Above is wanted. So above is wanted. So below is unwanted. And again, lesser, below is wanted. So below the green line is wanted, and above the green line is unwanted. So therefore, we get this closed region for 5 marks. So basically, 3 marks for drawing the line, or maybe 1 mark for this, 2 marks for this, 2 marks for this, and automatically the right region will come along. So now let me just have a look at the WhatsApp if it's all got all clear. Okay, to continue with this question. This is question 18. Tanya plants some seeds. Now let me just do a little bit of highlighting. The probability that the seed will produce flower is 0.8. When a seed produces flowers, the probability the flowers are red is 0.6. That is this thing. When a seed produces flower, that it's yellow. I don't have yellow color, so let me just use blue. That is 0.3. And for other colors, that should be this thing. That is the first thing. Now, what else is there? Let me just check one thing. Now it says Tanya has a seed that produces flower. Find the probability flowers are not red or not yellow. Okay, now first of all, it's just about the color. So it's just about color. So the first part was simple, but conceptual. So this is 0.6, this is 0.3, therefore this is 0.1. So this is 0.10 or 0.1 is enough. This is the probability that the flowers are not red, not yellow. That means they are of other colors. Got the idea? Now they are talking about the tree diagram. Complete the tree diagram. So I have done this, and this also 0.20. Of course, there won't be any lines over here because if there are no flowers, how can you get a red or yellow or other color? Tanya chooses a seed at random. Find the probability the seed produces red flowers. So she chooses a seed which produces flowers, and this comes out to be red. So flower and red, that is 0.8. And what is this over here? 0.6, that is 0.48. If you want to write as fractions, that's 8 over 10 into 6 over 10, that is 48 over 100, which is also 0.48. This is alternative if you want to write it this way. Now, the next page. Tanya chooses a seed at random. Find the probability the seed does not produce red flower. So there is no red flower. And then there is no yellow flower. That means there should be either flowers of other color or it does not produce any flower. So therefore, this is 0.8 into 0.1. So this is 0.8 into 0.1, or that means add no flower at all, that is 0.20. 0.08 plus 0.20, that is 0.28, that is 0.28. Double check the answer. 0.1 was the first part. 0.2 in the correct position. 0.6, 0.3, 0.1, that is correct. 0.48 is correct. 0.28 is correct. So now this is all good, all clear. Now it says Ella's height is 175, correct to the nearest 5 centimeter. Now, let me write some basic idea. Hold for a second. When we talk about upper bound and lower bound, so we have this thing when we round off. So this is upper bound, lower bound. When we round off to nearest integer, we add and subtract 0.5. When we round off to nearest 1 decimal place, we add and subtract 0.05. When we round off to the nearest 5 unit, let's say 5 centimeter, we add and subtract half of 5, which is 2.5. Keep that in mind. So Ella's height is this thing. Write down the upper bound. So lower bound, that is 175 minus 2.5. Upper bound, 175 plus 2.5, that is how much? 177.5. Raphael's height is 161, correct to the nearest centimeter. That means lower bound would be 160.5. Upper bound would be 161.5. This is nearest centimeter, nearest unit, or nearest integer. Work out the upper bound for the difference between Ella's height and Raphael's height. So difference is Ella minus Raphael, who is taller. Ella is taller. If you want the upper bound, that means Ella should be upper bound, Raphael should be lower bound. Got it? So Ella upper bound is what? Ella upper bound is what they asked for. That is this thing. They only asked for this thing. That is 177.5. And Raphael, you have to figure it out for yourself. Raphael lower bound is what? 160.5. So when we calculate the difference, 0.5, 0.5 cancel. This comes out to be 17. So this answer is 17. Let's double check. So 19, 177.5 and 17. That is the answer. Let's move on. Kinematics. The diagram shows the speed time graph. Always double check the units, meter per second, second, everything is balanced. Calculate the acceleration for the first 2 minutes of Sam's journey. 2 minutes is 120 seconds. So first of all, 2 minutes is 120 seconds. What is the change in y? 20. What is the change in x? 120. So that is 20 over 120. That is 2 over 12. That is 1 over 6. So this is 1 over 6 meter per second square. Calculate Sam's average speed for the whole journey. I need, first of all, the total distance traveled. So that's the area of this trapezium. So that is the trapezium, the acceleration, deceleration, the constant in the middle. So these two are parallel sides. So if I draw this dotted line like this, if I draw a dotted line like this, that is the height. And one side is between 120 and 480. So one of the side A is 480 and 120, that is 360. And the other parallel side is 600. And the height is this 20. And the area of trapezium, it's half sum of parallel sides, 360 plus 600 into 20. Use the easy working. Cancel the 2 and this thing, that is 10. 360 plus 600, 960, that is 9600. And the total time is 600. So average speed is 9600 divided by 600. So therefore, the zeros cancels out. 96 over 6, I think this is 16. That is 16 meter per second. So 1 over 6 and 16. So where is the answer? No, not here, over here. So 20 over 120, they did not reduce it. And this is 16, all good, all clear. Let's move over here. Mensuration question, basic question, nothing special. There is a cylinder. The radius of that cylinder, and it's a solid cylinder. The radius is given as x. The height is given as 7x over 2. There is a solid sphere. And the radius is given as capital R. The surface area of sphere is 4 pi capital R square is equal to total surface area of the cylinder. Total surface area of solid cylinder is 2 pi r square. There is a top, there is a bottom, plus 2 pi r h. Let me take 2 pi common. This is r square plus r h. Let me also take r common. And this is r plus h. So that is 2 pi. What is r? R is x. And this r, x. And this is 7x over 2. So this is 2 pi x, and this is 9x over 2. This is 2 cancel. So 9 pi x square. 9 pi x square. Am I right? Yes. So now what do? We take this thing. We take this thing and equate. So now equate. There is the relationship is simply equate. They want capital R in terms of x. 4 pi capital R square is 9 pi x square. Cancel of the pi's very first thing. And now we have this r square is 9x square over 4. Look at the numbers. They are all square numbers. So that is 3x over 2 whole square. Can I write it like this? So r square is this thing. So therefore, r is 3x over 2. Basically, I've taken the square root. Just the positive square root because length cannot be negative. 22. Y is inversely proportional to 1 over x plus 1 whole square. Y is equals to k over x plus 1 whole square. First find k. X is 1, y is 5, this is 5, this is k, this is 1 plus 1 whole square. This is 5, this is k over 4. Therefore, k comes out to be 20. Therefore, y is equals to 20 over x plus 1 whole square. Now, when x is 9, y is 20 over 9 plus 1 whole square. That is 20 over 10 square, which is 100. 20 over 100 is 0.2 or 2 over 10 or 1 over 5. 1 over 5 is also perfectly acceptable. So hold for a second. 3x over 2, that is correct. 1 over 5 is correct. Now, I think the last two questions. Simplify fully by rationalizing the denominator. We know this rule, a plus root b, and this is a minus root b. That is a square minus root b square, which is a square minus b. That means if I have similar things, root 6 plus 1, then I can write this thing as root 6 minus 1. All good? So that is root 6 whole square minus 1 square. This is 6 minus 1, which is 5. Now keep this thing in mind. So let me just take this background knowledge, shift it over here, and let's resize it and make it smaller. So now when I rationalize it, multiply and divide by root 6 minus 1, root 6 minus 1. This denominator over here, this and this is already done. This is 5. So therefore, this is equals to 45. Root 6 minus 1 divided by 5. This is 9, and this is root 6 minus 1. So that's how this thing is done. So this is 9 root 6 minus 1 bracket. This is 9 root 6 minus 1, and you can even expand the bracket. I think I'll just stick with this thing. And I think this looks like the second last question. Let me do this one first. We have to solve it. LCM. X minus 4, x plus 1. X is multiplied with x plus 1. 9 is multiplied with x minus 4. This equals to 2. So x squared plus 9x minus 36 is 2 times x minus 4, x plus 1. So I simplified the numerator. I also took this whole thing to the other side. Got it? So now x squared plus 10x minus 36. This is 2. This is x squared plus x minus 4x minus 4. This is 2x squared. X minus 4x negative 3x into 2, negative 6x minus 4. This is x squared plus 10x minus 36. What are they asking? Solve. So now over here, 0. 2x squared minus x squared, that is x squared, minus 6 minus 10 minus 16x, minus 4 plus 36, that is negative 32. Middle term factorization, x squared, 32. 8 fours are 32. And let me just double check one thing, if everything is done correctly. So this is x into x plus 1, x into x plus 1, x squared plus x. 9 into x minus 4, 9x minus 36, 9x minus 36. X minus 4, x plus 1, x minus 4, x plus 1, x squared plus x minus 4x plus x minus 4x minus 4. Don't forget there is a 2 over here. So 2x squared plus 2x minus 8x, which is negative 6x. Aha, there's a mistake because I realized that this was not factorizable. So this is 8. Now let's work it out. Because the moment that you realize that such a question is not factorizable because it's paper 1, that means you have done something wrong. So therefore, 2x squared minus x squared, that is x squared, minus 6 minus 10 minus 16x minus 8 plus 36. So 28. So therefore, that is positive 28 equals to 0. X squared minus 2x minus 14x plus 28 equals to 0. X bracket x minus 2 minus 14 bracket x minus 2 equals to 0. X minus 2, x minus 14 equals to 0. Therefore, x is positive 2. Therefore, x is 14. And this is 2 and this is 14. So let me just double check this thing. Yeah, 14 and 2, that's good. And this is the last thing that I'm coming to. People, the very last question, which is about vector. The last question was 25, but we did 25 first, and now we are doing vectors. In the diagram, O is the origin, and the first statement is OT is 2TD. OT is 2 times TD. If this is 1, this is 2. M is the midpoint of TC. M is the midpoint of TC. Therefore, TM and MC would be the same. OC is C, OC is C, OD is D. This whole thing, OD is D. So now over here, let me start with this. That is OC. That's the first thing. That is OD. That is the second thing. Then let me also mark this thing like this. That's the third thing. So I've marked 3 colors till now. First of all, this is 1, this is 2. The whole thing is 3. Therefore, from O till T, that is 2 out of 3 ratio of OD, and OD is D. That's 2/3 D. That is step number 1. Step number 2, this is just C like this. What are we interested in? Yes, we should also read that first. Find the position vector of M. So from O till M, we are interested in this. Give your answer in the simplest form. If I want to find OM, I should first find TM. In order to find TM, I should first find TC. So OT plus TC is OC. So step 2, OT plus TC is OC. Therefore, TC is OC minus OT. OC is C. OT is 2/3 D. So this thing, the small one, is 2/3 D from here to here. Therefore, TC is found. The third step. So this is step 1. This is step 2. Step 3. That is, I need TM. T till M. I need this. So now TM is half of TC. That is half of C minus 2/3 D. That is half C minus 1/3 D. That is the third step. So now we also found this purple thing out. That is like this. So now we have OM. We need OM. So now what's the last thing? OT plus TM is OM. So step 4. Step 4, OT plus TM is OM. What is OT? OT is somewhere over here. That is 2/3 D. What is TM? We just found it out. That is half C minus 1/3 D. This is OM. So now which ones cancels out? So this is 2/3 D. This is minus 1/3 D. That is positive 1/3 D. And half C is there. Half C is there. That is OM. Half C plus 1/3 D. So that is half C plus 1/3 D. And yes, that's the answer. So remember, what time did we get started? We got started at 10 questions were done at 7:36. The rest of the 15 questions, we just check for answers and then check for answers in between. So right now, this is 8:37. So this is 1 hour. And this is like 18 minutes. That is what I told you, that 1 hour, 20 minutes. So 60 plus 20, 80 minutes, whatever I promised, I delivered with all the explanation and all the answer checking. So that's how this first paper, this practice paper, paper 1 is all done and dusted. Stay tuned for more content on Mathematics with Shahabyaku.